Yo, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. This is the second video I said I was going to give you guys today. Probably be uploading it a little later, but you are still going to get the information, and the information is good. This one is from mensjournal.com. Pursuits Entertainment reads, James Gunn already has title for team-up movie starring Batman and Superman. Could DC's biggest heroes be about to join forces? Let's read some more, guys. Director and co-CEO James Gunn is thinking about what to do next after releasing Superman, and a Batman/Superman team-up might be on the cards. Over on Threads, Gunn was asked what he'd call a potential movie featuring the two DC icons. World's Finest, he responded. The answer is a reference to the World's Finest comics, a DC-published series running from 1941 to 1986. Almost every issue features DC's two leading superheroes, Superman and Batman. From Gunn's concise response is clear. There's no doubt in Gunn's mind over the title, suggesting he's already thought about it. The last time we saw both heroes in the same film was Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021. There, they were on the same team. Before then, the pair went toe-to-toe in 2016's divisive Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, aka verse Superman, Dawn of Justice. However, the DC universe is now rebooted with Gunn presiding over the first film in the DCU, Superman, that's set for a July 11th, 2025 release date. It stars David Corenswet as the Man of Steel and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Alongside them are Isabel Marcet as Hawkgirl, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, Guy Gardner as Mr. Terrific, Anthony Carnigan as Metamorpho, and Millie Alcock as Supergirl. If a World's Finest film were to go ahead, that likely means we'd see Corenswet and current Batman Robert Pattinson interact for the first time. That said, Pattinson's Batman occupies a different DC universe, so the tonal clash might prompt Gunn to cast a second alternate Batman. So that was the gist of that article, guys. I think the cast is decent. We've talked about this before. The budget is bloated. I do not think this movie is going to make anywhere what they want it to make. I think the movie may be quality. I have some concerns about the film just based on the direction that James Gunn is taking it. As far as a Batman versus Superman, it's cool that James Gunn is trying to brainstorm on what the future may look like, but the fact of the matter is you need Superman to work. If Superman does not work, the DCEU, DCU, whatever you want to call it, will not function properly. He's going to be the nucleus of this new phase for DC. So, with that being said, I don't know personally if I'm going to watch this new Superman film. Like I said, just based off the things I've seen, it doesn't look like a Superman film that is for me. I like a darker tone to my films. I think they're going back with the Christopher Reeves type Superman, more campy, more family friendly, more lighthearted. I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people, but I also think it's going to be something that the audience now is not going to want to see or really accept for what it is. I think that was cool for that era of Superman. I think this era needs to take a different spin. Man of Steel was a decent movie. I think people really did like that. The problem was DC followed up with Batman vs. Superman. It was too premature. The movie was not good, and it was two movies basically squashed into one. And so with that being said, you know, if they're going to take another shot at this, you need to do it the right way. As far as Robert Pattinson being in a David Corenswet Superman universe, obviously the article pointed it out. They're not in the same universe. That's not going to work. Robert Pattinson's Batman is more like Christian Bale's Batman. Him being in David Corenswet's Superman, it doesn't seem like anything that's even plausible at this point, and I don't even think James Gunn is going to go for that. I do think he's going to try to recast another Batman, which is going to be interesting. I do know just from set photos and information that I've gotten from other articles and just videos on the internet about this Superman movie that's coming out next summer, it looks like it's going to be a time period piece, maybe something late 60s, early 70s. So it's going to be very interesting to see what James Gunn does with the direction of this film and where he decides to take it, because if you are going to open up into a Justice League type scenario, you are going to have to, of course, have Batman, and of course there's going to be Wonder Woman and other things involved with that. Very interesting to see the position that James Gunn is in. Personally, I think he's in over his head with this new DC universe. I think it's a little too much for him right now. He did great with Guardians of the Galaxy, but he also benefited off the Marvel universe putting in the footwork before he was able to do Guardians of the Galaxy. Did a great job with that trilogy and those characters, but when you're dealing with DC, it's a whole nother ball game. People have different expectations, especially when you're dealing with a DC that's had major problems over the last, I would say, at least 10 years. So it's going to be very interesting to see what James Gunn does with this. Like I said, from a personal standpoint, I don't think this Superman movie is going to do very well. It could be a quality film, but we just have to wait and see until next year. There's a lot of competition also coming out next year around the same time. I reported on it earlier this week. We have Jurassic World on the 4th of July break. That's coming out July 2nd. Superman is slated for July 11th, 2025. And then you have the Fantastic Four, and that's going to be, I believe, towards the end of July. So you have a lot of competition in that month of July. One of these films is going to lose out. I'm willing to bet that it is going to be the Superman film. Hope everything goes well for the Superman film, but just based off things I have seen, I don't think this movie's going to do what they expected to do at the box office. And at the end of the day, guys, we know that this is a business. It's extremely important for this Superman film to do well at the box office. With a $300 million budget, I don't think it's going to do very well. Will it make some money? It will, but it won't make what Warner Brothers wants it to make. So until then, we will have to see what happens. I will be reporting on Superman as we get more information. Anything that comes out about James Gunn's statements or Warner Brothers or DC for that matter, I'll definitely be reporting on it, but I definitely wanted to get you guys that article. Let me know what you think in the comments about this, guys. Let me know if you guys know anything about the new Superman movie that's coming out next year. Let me know if you're interested in watching the film. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Always share with a friend. And as always, be safe.